closer look at him.
Number 3 is
you can tell just as they engage, Paguera's got his back arched, and you know, if he's in a good position, he'd have his back straight.
Just come down the middle.
A little bit of a hollow in it. Trying to get underneath Ewan Murray, and I think Ewan Murray's doing a good job there.
Paul, just some worrying news. A stretcher is being called for Alan Jacobson, and the medical staff are rushing around to the other side of the pitch to attend to him.
Yeah, that is disappointing news for Scotland. Maybe you could update us on that after the end of this half. But here we go, Portugal, but in the safe hands of Rory Lamont.
Playable.
Just 2.5 minutes to go before the half-time whistle.
Sure.
Well, a bit of a shame that the 10 minutes either side of half-time, really important to assert your authority, and Scotland were in a great position. Rory Lamont's had a fantastic game. He's very solid under the high ball, very courageous.
Sorry.
Well, 2 tries for the big full-back already, almost had a hat-trick.
Engage.
Scotland once more, pick up there by Simon Taylor. Out to Lamont, being supported by his brother. Good recycling by Scotland. And certainly Portugal are having to put their bodies on the line here because there's constant bombardment by the Scottish forwards.
Well, I think Steve Walsh might think about going to his pocket in a minute. His continual infringements by Portugal at the ruck and maul, trying to steal ball. That's the second time they've been penalised for handling or trying to sweep the ball back.
And Dan Parks happy to boot that ball as far downfield as he can.
Of course, I might have a slightly biased perspective on that.
Well, I'm sure you would, but it's fair comment. Good take there, of course, by Scott Murray. Across, inside to Lamont. Just slipped the ball to Lamont there, but being stolen there by Portugal. Oh dear, I'll have to come way back now. And Portugal once again being penalised. That's about 4 or 5 penalties on the trot against the Portuguese, and Vasa Uva there, the captain, looks totally perplexed.
Well, they've got to be on their feet. You see, he's down there on his knees. It's clearly a penalty there, and they're just continually infringing. I think you know, the more they go on like this, he's fallen down, he's ripped the ball away, handling in the ruck, so obvious. You see Alistair Hogg's frustration on his face.
Well, they certainly have got these very patriotic gum shields, so it's quite easy to identify whether somebody is a Scot or Portuguese in those situations. But we're coming up to the last 30 seconds of normal time. A chance here for Scott Lawson. He'll hit his target, and I bet these guys go thundering on. They release it, though, into the midfield once again. Marcus de Rolo, just 8 or 9 metres out. Just trying to remove that Portuguese player, but penalty given.
Well, he's just lying there again, and you can understand why Mike is so frustrated. Well, I think he's going to go to his pocket now.
Repeatedly offending against your team.
Yes, there you go. You predicted it absolutely correctly. He's gone. So we won't even see him at the beginning of the second half.
No time for a line out.
And certainly he's been one of the major culprits, hasn't he?
Absolutely. You know, he's been penalised a couple of times, and I mean, I'm surprised Steve Walsh didn't actually warn him a little bit more, unless he did and we didn't hear it. But
so chance for Scotland. If they got a 7-pointer here, you could say it's just about all over. And that is a great driving run there from Scott Murray. And the referee wants Dave Pearson, the TV official, to have another look at that.
I want to know if it's a try.
Goodness only knows whether he can make sense of that. The referee just saying he wants to know whether he dropped it over the line or whether it was hands down on top of the ball. Let's say Scott Murray doesn't look too confident. Ooh, that is not a try.
No, I think that's right. You're absolutely right. I think teams know when they've scored and they know when they haven't scored, and he clearly dropped it there. There's no downward pressure. That's no try.
I wonder if they regret not just having the 3 points in front of the posts and going for the try.
Well, interesting. I think I might have gone for a scrum. You know, 7 men down, dominating the scrum, under the posts. I'd have gone for the scrum, but there we go.
I'll just take another look at it, but I think we know the outcome already. And the man himself will regret that.
Yes,
that was a definite scoring opportunity. And I think that may well be the last act of this first half. Well, certainly we're getting plenty of free plays. Surely Dave Pearson, the official, has made his mind up. There we are. No try given, but still a pretty useful performance by Scotland, but up against a dogged Portuguese side. At the end of 40 minutes, it's Scotland 28, Portugal 10.
Well, undoubtedly one of the magic moments of this Rugby World Cup tournament. Carvalho, the winger, scoring Portugal's first try in Rugby World Cup history. And they look excited about that. Welcome back to this Bank of New Zealand halftime report. 28-10 to Scotland over the new kids on the block, Portugal. James Ryan, All Black, joins me now. And James, Portugal, they'll be soaking this up. They'll be loving it, won't they?
It's just great for them to get an opportunity to play in games like this, tournaments like this. They'll just be loving every minute of it and learning a hell of a lot from it too.
Andrew Mertens, what about Scotland?
Well, I think this is a good game for Scotland. We saw that New Zealand really needed probably a harder game than this sort of a game in their first up match. I think the Scottish need time together. They need time with the ball in hand to get their attack sorted out. They haven't had a good time of it in the last couple of years, and getting over that confidence, running with the ball and sort of linking in with one another is going to benefit them a lot, because I think they could be a dark horse.
Rory Lamont, the fullback here, and normally it's his brother Sean doing all the scoring, but showing real strength there.
Well, they had a lot of space out wide, and he scored 2 good tries, Lamont, but he still had to sort of rely on that speed and strength. They're not great at getting it out quickly. So, you know, a couple of big don't argues there, and he goes over, and he did well, and he was quite rightly pretty chuffed with himself. But I just think the Scots aren't great at the moment at getting the ball wide to space, and they certainly will need to be when they come up against the bigger guns. Yes,
and well, let's take a look now at the match statistics for the first half, and they're quite revealing when you look at this. 73 tackles Portuguese have had to make over Scotland, and 19 of those have been missed. The other big possession, the other big statistic there, James, is that possession and territory, 28 points to 10. And we'll be going back to Saint-Étienne for the second half of the match between Scotland and Portugal right after this break.
Thanks, bud.
Well, the teams are back on the field at Saint-Étienne, and remember that Portugal have a player in the sin bin. Let's go to our commentary team now. Paul Dickinson and David Sol.
Saint-Étienne to get the game underway. Scotland 28, Portugal 0 at the end of half-time. Portugal 10. So Dan Parks restarting. Ball taken there by Diogo Mateos. 40 minutes left of rugby for Portugal to try and make inroads into that 18-point lead by Scotland. Slightly sliced there by Pinto.
And of course with one man down.
Yes, we've still got the flank forward in the sin bin, haven't we? And he's going to be there for about another 9 minutes or so. So that will certainly not help Portugal's course, but here we go. Immediately Scotland with a very deep line on the attack, offloaded by Lamont. Looks as though Miguel Portela has come on for Portugal. He'll be wearing number 22. And Lamont there absolutely buried underneath the bodies. That was taken very flat, and the pace on the ball was too quick. And here goes Portugal. Good little break out by the captain. Professor Uva there just bundled into touch. The ball's still in play, but not anymore, says the touch judge. Good charging run there by the tall Gonçalo Uva, wearing number 4 for Portugal.
I have a couple of pieces of information for you, Paul. Miguel Portela has indeed come on. He's replaced the outside centre Federico Sousa. And just regarding Alan Jacobson, perhaps slightly more reassuring news. The injury is a calf injury. He is being assessed at the moment by an orthopaedic specialist in the Scotland dressing room.
Well, thanks very much for that medical bulletin, and I'm sure all Scottish fans will be relieved to hear that. I certainly think, David, when you come to World Cups like this, the sort of medical facilities are set up in such a way that absolutely no chance will be taken with the welfare of any player, and I think that stretcher was precautionary more than anything else, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah. And, it looked like he was clutching his calf as he went off, and the ice pack was on it pretty much straight away.
Come back on. Come in,
I just hope it's not a serious tear.
So, the hooker Joaquim Ferreira of Portugal hasn't had a huge amount of success with his throw-ins, because every time he's put the ball in the air, the Scottish forwards really attack it, and they've come off best so far. That was a poor throw, and Scotland do come away with it. Good passing by Scotland. Well, put the kiss of death on it there, didn't I?
Poor Marcus Aurelius not having one of his better games in the Scottish jersey, I'm afraid.
Both cheating, I think. Is your guy letting go?
Couldn't quite hear what Steve Walsh was saying there.
So like both cheating.
Yes, well, that's what I thought he said. Seagull's pipe band. Now, where on earth did they come from?
I've never heard of the town of Seagull. It's not far from Gullen.
Boom. Well, he played down on one knee, just trying to get his contact lens back in. Conditions have cooled off a little bit here today, which I think is good news for all of the players. Because at half-time, everybody would be taking liquid on board, but not suffering so much. See that player right on this side, Rui Cadero, the prop forward there, breaking away from his binding once again. I was out of the sight of the referee on that occasion, but that was a wonderful, wonderful kick there by Dan Parks.
Well, that's what he's best at. And that lovely perfect kick for the try in the first half, and that was a beauty as well. Now, I think Scotland will attack this line out again, see if they can steal it.
Big tall fella at the front there wearing for Nathan Hines, great jumper. Next to him, another great jumper, Scott Murray. Now, which way did Portugal go? That was well taken. That was a well-ordered jump there by David Penalva. Portugal just getting the advantage there, just driving forward 3 or 4 meters. So for once, Scotland were on the back foot. Good kick by the outside half. Pinto, there he is. I've seen him play sevens as well, along with Pedro Leal. And they were a great couple of players in, I can't remember which sevens tournament it was. It may well have been Cardiff a couple of years ago when they came over from Portugal. There's the take, though, by Scott Murray. Trying to charge through midfield again. What I think was Simon Taylor standing midfield, switching it away to the left-hand side. Good darting run here by Scotland. That was a great run there by Rory Lamont, once again into the Scottish line. Out wide, that was aimed for Lamont, and the breakaway here coming from Pedro Cavallo.
He's offside, I'm afraid. He's going to have to go all the way back.
He still hasn't realised. And there is Steve Walsh. Now that guy hasn't stopped smiling since the whistle went for the start of the first half, but he must be frowning now. A definite penalty for offside. And presumably there, Vaso Uve saying, oh, come on, ref. What a disappointment for the youngster.
And there's a long trot back.
Jason White, the skipper, just with his back to us there.
With the ball.
He thought he'd done it all.
A hero in Lisbon. Look at that look of disbelief on his face. What? Offside? You've got to be joking.
I think the Portuguese football team last night drew. Got a feeling it was 2-2.
He wants the TMO to have a look. I don't think there's any question about offside.
I'm just thinking, you know, with the Portuguese side only getting a draw last night in soccer, that little bit of excitement would have brought all of the Portuguese bars to life rather tonight. But a chance now for Scotland, just about 8 or 9 metres out from Portugal's line.